I lost over 60 pounds in under a year. I know. Sounds crazy, but it is possible, and I'm gonna tell you the story about how I did it. Growing up, I wasn't necessarily like a big boy or, fat, but I did struggle with my body image going into middle school and in high school. I wasn't necessarily like the leanest I could have been. I was definitely not in the shape that I wanted to be in, especially because my outward image kind of reflected how I felt inside. What I mean by that is I kind of wanted to get the attention from women and, respect from my male friends. It was a bit of a mess. So for the majority of my adult life, I kind of ate my sorrow away. I wasn't necessarily happy with the outcomes that I had had. I never went to school after high school, that is. So I was in a position where I wanted to like really find work, but something that I kind of enjoyed. You see, in the past, I've also tried my hand at some content creation. I used to do digital art. You may recognize some of these pieces, you may not, I don't really care. Even did some fitness content, but I wasn't really happy with how it looked and with the production value and some of the things. If I knew what I knew now, forget it. Anyway, I started lifting when I was in high school and I noticed I was a hyper responder. So I did the natural thing. I just kept lifting weights for all those years and I just kind of didn't care about what I ate. Then I stopped lifting for a little bit and I kind of bulked forever, essentially. It was a continuous bulk. That wasn't until 2025 when I really decided to lock in, as the youth say nowadays. So I found out about calorie tracking and it literally saved my life. So I went down the rabbit hole of losing weight. I was unemployed for a bit, so I had a bunch of free time. So instead of wasting that time, I figured why not take this opportunity to do what I always wanted to do. I did just that. I found out about a TDEE calculator, which is total daily energy expenditure. I just put in my stats and I was able to figure out what exactly I needed to be eating. And mind you, I had tried everything at this point. Keto, low carb, fruit, veggies, vegan, whatever. Once I was able to find something that I knew I was going to sustain, because weight loss should be sustainable, I was able to subtract around 500 calories. And I did that for about a week or so. And boy, did the results come. I really wish I could show some progress pictures, but I didn't really take a whole lot. Again, this was a body insecurity kind of thing. There are times where I even cut my calories super low, and that wasn't as sustainable, but it did work. I even bought a food scale, and that thing has literally changed the game for me. I got into the habit of weighing my food, making sure that I drank only things with 0 calories, like with the artificial and natural sweeteners. And no, they're not as bad as you think. Here's the proof. In that moment of me getting the food scale, tracking my calories, and being consistent with it, I was able to discover that I was able to reach exactly where I wanted to go. For me, it was simple. I'm a bit of a dummy. So you have to tell me exactly what it is I need to do, and I will do it. I've been able to get my own place, get my own car, get the things I actually want in life, simply just putting in the work. But there are some key things to take away here. Consistency, 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 consistency. That is really the key. I can't say it enough, but it's not going to work if you don't. I was actually with my boy last night and we were, having dinner, probably over like 2,000 calories if I'm being honest. But he also wants to get in shape. And I had told him, look, I can give you all the advice I could possibly throw at you, up the wazoo. But if you don't apply what most people already know, and if you don't know, again, calorie deficit, food scale, stay in the gym, do your cardio. If you want, you don't even have to do cardio. Just make sure you're tracking those calories and you're under that deficit. If you're doing those things, you will get those results. Guaranteed. Look, I'm proof. I've always said that habits are hard to break, so you might as well form good ones. And just stick with it. It is going to happen. You just have to kind of give it some time. If you're eating at like a 500 calorie deficit, you're gonna lose like a pound a week. Now, the pound may be fat, maybe water, maybe a little muscle. It doesn't matter. If your goal is to lose weight, this will work. Body recomp though, I guess that's another video. For years, I wanted to be able to eat whatever I wanted and lose the weight. And I actually found something through hours and hours, months and months of research, and I'm able to do it. Shout out Mountain Dew for one of the best 0 calorie drinks. Well, 5 calorie, but same thing. That's another thing too. Don't trip over the calories. And what I mean by that is anything that has like 5 calories, 10 calories, even something like a pickle, don't even worry about it. Your metabolic rate will get rid of that. In all honesty though, there are things that do burn calories that people don't realize, like breathing, walking. Literally, my cardio is just incline walking on a treadmill. Even if you didn't have access to a gym, just walk around. Park further at the grocery store so you can intentionally get some steps in. If you got an office job, make sure you get up and stretch for a little bit. There are definitely ways to help you get to that goal and burn a little extra calories and everything stacked over time, it does help. Towards the end of my cut, I did kind of cheat a little bit by making sure I ran a lot and burned way more calories and dropped my calories over 1,000, which I don't recommend, by the way. I just wanted the fast results because I'm impatient, but I promise it's going to work. Just stick with it and you're gonna get those results. I know it's hard. Again, remember what I said about habits. They're hard to break. Form good ones. Give yourself a week and you'll feel it. Give yourself a couple of weeks and you'll see it slightly, but keep at it. And pretty soon, people are gonna look at you and be like, whoa, what happened? That's another thing too. Some of my coworkers are just like, yo, you're looking slim as hell. Like, what happened? I stopped eating. That's what. What I tell people all the time, literally the secret is eat less, move more. That's it. It really is that simple. Again, I'm a simple guy. It's all you need. It's not necessarily easy, but it is simple and to the point. Kind of like me.